The finest and the first entrepreneur that I ever met in my life was my mother. And this watch reminds me of my mother. I'll never forget when she was gravely ill. She called me into the hospital, into her room, and she said to me, "Stephen, this watch has been in our family for 3 generations." Now, she was the finest entrepreneur that I ever knew. She said, "You're the oldest of my 3 children. So I'm going to give you the first chance to buy this watch from me." Now, on a more serious note, let me tell you about the importance of entrepreneurship. And an entrepreneurship has been a powerful tool, ladies and gentlemen, for women and other groups that have been marginalized. In America, more women own companies that employ, in totality, more than 50% more employees than all of the Fortune 500 combined. Therefore, in America and throughout the world, we desperately need more women entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is a synonym for liberation. We desperately need more women entrepreneurs. And we should also be aware of the fact that entrepreneurship is one of the toughest things that anybody will ever be involved in. The key to success is extremely difficult. Most entrepreneurial firms will, in fact, fail. But those entrepreneurs who actually succeed, one of their key success factors is their ability to do something that's called pivoting. They have the ability to pivot. And pivoting, just like you see this picture of the world's greatest basketball player, Michael Jordan, with one foot down, his right foot down, and then his left foot showing the ability to go any different direction. Pivoting, my friends, very simply, is maintaining your original strategy while changing courses in your tactics. Very simply stated, pivoting means the willingness on your part as a businesswoman, the willingness on your part to actually do something different than what you intended to do originally, or to add what you've done originally. It is absolutely imperative that you be willing to pivot. Research shows that 93% of all entrepreneurial successful companies have pivoted at least one time. They've been willing to do something different. We need more women entrepreneurs. We need more successful, high-growth women entrepreneurs. In order to get that, we need women to be willing to pivot. And in order to pivot, one needs to be willing to do what? Let go. The whole idea of letting go in the world of business means one needs to embrace the theory of sunk cost. The theory of sunk cost. What is the theory of sunk cost? The theory of sunk cost just very simply means yesterday's investment should not impact your decisions about tomorrow. Let go of yesterday. Let it go. It's sort of like how they catch monkeys in Africa. One of the things that they do is they take a tree, cut a hole in the tree, put a ledge in that hole with a piece of fruit on it. What happens? The monkeys come up and they look in, they see that piece of fruit, and what do? They close their hand, they put it in that hole, and they grab that piece of fruit. They grab that piece of fruit, and what happens? Well, the hole is such that it's only wide enough that you can get your hand out if you release that fruit. How do they catch those monkeys? They catch them just standing there because they're unwilling to let go of that piece of fruit. That is a great example of one who does not embrace the theory of sunk cost. Let the fruit go. Free yourself to do something different and something greater. Free yourselves to respond to your actual calling. Don't be like the monkey refusing to let go of that fruit. That is the theory of sunk cost. To think of it again in another example, it's sort of like the person who buys all of the ingredients to make a dish of lasagna, and she makes that dish after spending hours cutting the cheeses, spending a lot of money buying the products. She finally makes the dish, tastes it, and it tastes absolutely awful. What does this theory of sunk cost say? It says, throw it away. Do not let your investment in yesterday affect your decision about tomorrow. But what do we most do in response to that? We go back to the store, we buy more ingredients, and we try to salvage things because we say, I've put too much investment in this endeavor already. And so we try to salvage it by spending more money, putting in more time, and then what's the result? We taste the product. After we've done all of that, we taste it and we say, what? It's horrible. I should have thrown it away. I can absolutely guarantee you, if you embrace the theory of sunk costs, it will make your life easier. It will enable you to make decisions very quickly, and it will enable you to increase your chances of entrepreneurial success. We need more successful female entrepreneurs. A great example, I'm going back to the point of pivoting, a great example of pivoting was over 57 years ago. I sit on the board of S.C. Johnson Wax. We make Glade, Raid, and Windex. We're a multi-billion-dollar international firm. 57 years ago, Sam Johnson, the founder's 25-year-old son, came to Sam. And Sam was a tyrant, had a reputation for being anti-almost everything. Sam Jr. comes in and he says to his father, he says, I have an idea for a new product. His father said, that's perfectly fine, as long as there's wax in it, because at that time, 57 years ago, the only products that S.C. Johnson sold had wax in them. They were wax-related products. Sam said, we can put wax in it, but it's going to render the product less effective. What was the product? It was Raid. This was an example of a company pivoting from the wax industry to the pesticide industry. If you pivot, it will enable you to grow. And in conclusion, let me say this. I travel the world giving speeches on the topic of entrepreneurship and the importance of entrepreneurship to every society in the world. I always proclaim that entrepreneurs are my personal heroes and sheroes. And the reason is because entrepreneurs who do well for themselves, entrepreneurs who prosper, they automatically do good for society. They do good for society because they give jobs to other people. And people who have jobs are self-sufficient, and self-sufficient people, my friends, live in healthy communities. Therefore, let me conclude as I began, and that is, we desperately, in America and throughout the world, we desperately need more women entrepreneurs to help make the entire society a better place to live. Thank you very much. Have a great day.